Good afternoon and very warm post-coffee welcome. I'd like to particularly welcome our visitors from Israel, a country with whom I've had deep relations in the past, and I hope as an industry called agriculture, we forge very, very deep relationships with that country. I'm privileged to be moderating this session. Dr. Ray, as you know, has been delayed slightly, but he should be here shortly. But a few opening remarks. We have almost 75 minutes. A few opening remarks from me, and then perhaps 10 minutes each from our panelists, and then rounded off by a series of questions and answers, should you so desire. Just to set the context, I think we are at a cusp, a point in time where agriculture, from just being agriculture, needs to be an industry. It's a factory of food. And the principles that govern this factory of food are no different in terms of science and application as any other factory. Obviously, there are many more variables involved, but the way that Israel and other countries have approached agriculture has been through scientific temper, which has provided very, 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 very rich results. So we are at a point where we need to recognize some of the challenges that Indian agriculture, Shiv alluded to quite a few of them. I might end up paraphrasing a few, but I think we are moving to what I might like to call techno-kheti. Kheti as agriculture and technology is applied to it. The management of risk was referred to, and it's a key challenge to be managed. And we will not go very far in agriculture if we don't manage the risk and indeed the entrepreneurial capacity and capability of the farmer. And the focus, therefore, is on the profit and loss account, or indeed the balance sheet of the individual farmer, using science and technology. Farmer income, therefore, needs to be at the focus of our efforts. Obviously, there is a food problem or a food challenge to be managed, but in context of a farmer income. We are looking at a crop per drop. This has been well recognized in the last 5 or 10 years of thinking about agriculture. And another way to think about crop from a farmer's viewpoint is the crop per unit of operating expenditure and capital expenditure, which is how new market models and the application of technologies will reach the individual farmer. To do that, we will have to focus on soil chemistry very, very deeply. We have to focus on plant protection. We have to focus on OPEX, which is caused by manual labor or machine utilization or application of chemicals, etc., to be able to bring down the operating expenditure per unit of land to the right level. There are vagaries of climate, and that's the extent nature will play a role in the ambiguity or the complexity of this equation. But we are also challenged, and with due apologies to people from government who may be in the audience, we are also challenged by an ambiguity of government policy. And therefore, that not being the subject of this discussion is something that does complicate the equation. We do need to push for crop diversity. The Secretary of Agriculture today spoke of redoing the product mix at the ground level, supporting crops that require supporting, oilseeds and pulses being some of them, and horticulture, and over a period of time defocusing on what we have strategic stocks, which are three times what you need. All said and done, I think the entire challenge before us is not the creation of technology, but the delivery of technology. There are solutions available all across the world and in India, and my appeal to solution creators in technology is perhaps we need to take a pause and breathe, and therefore apply our time in imagining how technologies can be brought together and harnessed for the small and medium farmer. That's where India lies. That's where the output, the agriculture output of India lies. And the big question in my mind, therefore, is what will it take? And I would appeal to my co-panelists to be able to address this one fundamental question. What will it take for an uptake of technology at the individual farm level? What innovations are needed without reinventing the wheel? And lastly, think about carefully who our real stakeholders are. Individual farmers, certainly, but to a very, very large extent in India, as in other countries, the government is a major stakeholder. How can we assist government via science and technology to take the right policy decisions? The minimum support price is one such. We today have representation from a variety of verticals, as indeed some horizontals, and I briefly would introduce them. Dr. Ray, who will be with us shortly, we'd like to hear about the kind of work that the Mahalanobis National Crop Forecast Center is doing. In fact, the output of these technologies would be de-risking the individual farmer. Rajan, my friend from Trimble, will take us through precision agriculture and what his company is doing in this space, optimizing usage and ensuring maximum output. A major component, a major vector of opportunity in post-harvest technologies is the cold chain. And we have Soren Grama of Promethean Power Systems to be talking to us about refrigeration. They've developed a new approach to refrigeration. And while it did start with the dairy, where they have been eminently successful, I had the privilege of visiting his laboratories in Boston a couple of years ago when they were in their early stages. To now also talk to us about how these technologies can benefit the loss of produce post-harvesting, particularly in horticulture. Anthony would take us through smart farm machinery and providing customized solutions based on the need of end users, smart farm solutions. And lastly, not least, Jung Bahadur, who is a farmer, but a mega farmer. I understand, Jung, you harness over 6,000 acres of land in Punjab. Interestingly, here is a ground level, hopefully an expose on what technology in ICT can do for raising farm productivity. So with that, I hope we have a great conversation. And I will come back after all my friends have spoken to see how we can harness all these outputs together. Thank you.